Hey everybody, Hokius here, and today I wanted to talk to you about a new game I've been playing. Well, it's not new to necessarily, but it's kind of new to me. I've only been playing it for a few weeks now, a couple weeks, and I wanted to talk about it, and it's really been fun. It's called Final Fantasy Dissidia Opera Omnia. Of course, I had to try this game. You'll note from my streams that I'm an avid Final Fantasy record keeper player, so I had to try this eventually once it came out. It took me a little bit to get here, but get here I did, and now that I've been playing for a couple weeks, I just wanted to share with you some tips and tricks that I've learned as I've played that I kind of wish that I'd known right at the beginning. So let's go ahead and get started there. The most important thing, the very first thing I want you, if you take nothing else away from this, I want you to take this away. Make sure that you level up Chocobo or Sylph, not both, but one or the other to 11 as quickly as possible. The reason not both is because they actually share some level up materials, and so it's really hard to get them both to 11 quickly. So you want to focus on one or the other, and then you will be able to get them up to 11 quickly. The reason this is important is because a lot of times people will not even take you on the event co-op missions if you don't have a Chocobo or a Sylph at level 11 to bring with you. They have a summon speed of fast, and once they get to 11, they have a summon speed of fast, and they have 5 turns. And this is important because it makes bosses in that co-op go down much faster, gives you a much higher score when you're done. So people won't take you, and even if you can go, you're not going to get as high score as you would if you brought them at level 11. So make sure you level up one of those characters to 11 as quickly as possible. The second thing I wanted to tell you that's very important, that I think is very important, is you want to go ahead and every event, even early on if you can, you want to make sure that you do through part 5 of the event. Even if you have to spend some mithril in order to continue. The reason for this, as you can see over here, is that as you clear the battle, part 3 or clear part 5, you get a 5-star tiger mask, which is an armor item for the character for whom the bonus is built. So it's actually, you clear either of those, you get it both for both of those. It's a little bit unclear with the wording, but yeah, you get it for both of those. So you get 2 items as long as you complete through part 5, 2 5-star armors. This is great for these characters. It builds up their defense, it gives them extra CP for more passives, and it sets you up if you want to limit break them. That's 1 or 2 less armors you have to buy from the armor token shop. So you want to make sure that you're always doing at least that far. The third thing I wanted to tell you is to make sure to always keep an eye on your passives. What that means is go into your party, and as you're leveling up characters, make sure that you're periodically going in there and you hit auto in order to add their passive abilities. They're going to get passive abilities every 5 levels or so, and you want to make sure that you're always equipping those, especially early on. You can just hit auto because you're going to have more CP than you have passives to use on it. So just hit auto as you're leveling them up, and they'll equip their passives and be a little bit stronger as you go to the next and the next mission. The fourth thing I want to remind you is to make sure that you update your support as you get more and more powerful characters. So to do that, you go to Home, you go to the Settings, you go to User Data, and you click Change Support. And you can set their abilities, their items, and their passives there. And the reason you want to make sure that you have your most powerful character there is so that people will actually use your support. Every time they use your support, it gives you 100 gil up to 5,000 gil for the next day, and that gil is very important. It's used on leveling up all of your armor, all of your weapons, all of your summons, used when you level up artifacts in order to add passives to your characters. So you need lots and lots of gil, and one of the easiest ways to do it is to just have a good support character that people want to use. For this 5th tip, the first thing you need to know is a little bit about the World of Illusions. If you've gone there at all, you know that there's a stamina bar down here at the bottom, and you'll see that the max stamina is tied to your rank. So one of the things you want to make sure that you're doing is every time you ranks up, it adds 1 to your SP max, and it fills up that gauge again. So when you're about to rank up, you want to make sure to spend all your SP so you're getting the most bang for your buck. Now, how do you know if you're about to rank up? This is the thing that I didn't know. Every 10 levels that you gain on any number of characters, so if you have one character that gains 10 levels, 2 that gain 5, 10 characters that gain 1, 3 characters that gain 2, and 1 that gains 4, any combination of 10 levels that you gain on a character is going to be another rank. So as you're leveling characters, make sure that you go back and spend your SP before you get that 10th level in order to fully maximize the stamina that you're using. This 6th tip may be a little bit obvious, but it's something that I didn't really think about so much. So you'll see that once you clear a chapter, you get access to hard mode, and I was a little bit leery of that at first, but it turns out that hard mode is not that hard. For example, this right here is quest level 26. Well, that's not so hard, right? Especially once you've cleared chapter 2 or chapter 3. Heck, on normal, this is, well, it's a quest level 3, so never mind. But it's once you've cleared a chapter ahead, maybe 2 chapters ahead, you can come back and do hard mode on this chapter really easily. And there's some great rewards you can get here. Lots of crystals that you can gain, lots of weapon artifact things that you can gain. So it's definitely something you want to think about as you're completing quests, is go back and do the hard mode. It's not that hard. Tip number 7 I've got for you is you'll know that you can get from these cycle quests, you can get crystals to level up the crystal level of your characters. And you probably even know that if you go to the World of Illusions, some of the quests you can do will give you crystals for your characters, but those things are limited, or they require items to unlock them, or they require you to spend stamina. Well, there's one thing you can do that is pretty much guaranteed to give you crystals every time without doing any of that, and that's the co-op quests. So you can go here and do Behemoth Encounter or Unpleasant Odors. Once you've got 3 level 50 characters, you could probably solo both of these. You don't even have to pay attention to them, and you can just set it to auto attack, and it will go ahead and clear these out for you. And so the rewards are not going to be great. You're not going to get a ton of crystals doing things this way, but it is free. There's no items, there's no limits, there's no stamina necessary. You can just do it endlessly if you're not doing anything else interesting. And the other thing I want to tell you real quick while I'm on the subject of crystals is if you're doing these cycle quests trying to gain level 1 crystals, level 2 crystals, because you've got enough level 3 crystals but you don't have enough 1s and 2s, this is something I run into all the time as I'm trying to level up the crystal levels of my characters, you want to actually do the rank 2 of the quest. It's especially if you've unlocked it with using the Moogle key, you will be able to clear those really fast, and they give you more level 1 and level 2s than the higher difficulty ones. For this 7th tip, you want to go back to the home page, and if you look at this information and notices screen, you'll see previews for events go up a couple days before the event actually comes out, and you can learn about the character that's coming out and their abilities and their armor, and you can even learn about the enemy you're going to be fighting, the final boss in the co-op event, and I think the level 50 event usually. But the most important thing you're going to learn in a preview sense is which 3 characters are going to get a synergy boost here for this next event. And you can start working on them by building up their artifacts from extra passives, by leveling up their crystal levels, or even leveling them up. Now, they do get a 2x experience bonus once the event starts, but there's no reason you can't get a head start if you're not working on anyone else at the moment. And that way, you can maybe find that one of these 3 characters is going to help you complete the events much more easily, much more quickly, and get you much more points so that you can gain all these fabulous rewards here. The 9th thing is something that actually didn't apply when I first started, but it does now, and I want to make sure that you know about it. If you go to the DP exchange, you can get a Power Stone for 900 DP. Now, you're only going to get 700 DP a week through the daily quests, but you can get more through doing some of the event quests, so make sure you're doing those. And then you can buy a Power Stone every week. Now, it does take 4 Power Stones to do a limit break on a weapon, and it takes 3 limit breaks in order to fully power up a weapon. But still, this is a thing that you can do weekly for something you're already doing. You can get a free Power Stone and work towards getting some of those 6-star blue weapons that will really make your character strong. And finally, the 10th tip. This is one of those things that I really wish I had known. It maybe doesn't seem like a big deal, but it can kind of snowball on you a little bit. When you go to enhance your weapons and your armor, you can enhance using the 2-star and 3-star weapons, and also the 2-star and 3-star enhancement items. Don't. Unless you are really close to finishing off your weapon, doing that is a waste of gil. You'll see here it costs 150 gil for me to use that 2-star thing. And if I scroll down here, it costs 150 to use the 3-star. It costs 150 to use a 4-star. So gil is actually fairly limited in this game, at least at the current point that I'm at, especially. So maybe it's just early on, maybe it'll open up later, but it's not an efficient use of gil to spend those items unless you absolutely have to. So what I like to do is I just sell these 2-star and 3-star weapons and armor, and I only use the 2-star and 3-star boost items when I absolutely have nothing else. This way I'm not wasting my gil. I do the same thing on the artifacts. I don't even level up with the 3-stars anymore. I sell those and only level up using the 4-stars, because otherwise I run out of gil really quickly, and then I can't level anything up no matter what items I have. I know I just said finally tip number 10, but I actually have one more tip for you that might be the most interesting tip. At least it's the one I have not seen anything about on the internet while I was looking up information about this game. When you're doing the cycle quests, the daily cycle quests, it says that you have 10 tries per day, but that's not strictly true. You actually have 10 completions per day. So when I was first starting out on this game, what I didn't realize is that I didn't need to waste my mithril completing the quest in order to not miss out on the cycle quest. I could just quit out after I died and start a new one, and I would be just fine. So I hope you don't repeat my mistake, and you'll go ahead and just every time you wipe on a crystal quest, you'll drop out and start it again, because you will not lose anything. So those are my tips and tricks, things I've learned as I've played this game. I hope that you found those helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section below, or go ahead and hit me up on Twitter, twitter.com/Hokius. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to help you out if at all I can. And if you found this video helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you'd give me a like and or a subscribe. Otherwise, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned a lot, and I'll see you next time.